Hello, welcome to my Let's Talk About series. This is one of my YouTube series that I've been running for quite a while now, and I'm going to continue with the video I'm creating for you today on the Parrot operating system. But before we begin, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Robert Doyle, and I am currently the IT auditor for New Mexico State University, and I am also a college assistant professor. And my specialties are computer networking, primarily Cisco Academy, and also cybersecurity, cryptography, forensics, all that kind of stuff like that. My background and degree is I have a bachelor's in ICT, and I'm globally recognized by Cisco as one of their CCRNS instructors. I also have been teaching for 18 years on and off, full-time, part-time, and I've taught over 40 different courses in 3 different disciplines. Facts about me: I love to cook and try to be healthy if possible. That's not always the case, but anyways. So, okay, like I mentioned before, we're going to cover the Parrot operating system. The Parrot operating system, for most people, is a security, I guess you would say, InfoSec operating system. But a lot of people don't realize that you can also use it for your home use and so on. This course is going to cover how to use the basic structure of it, how to use it for your home use or for security purposes. My target audience for this would be any individual that kind of knows Linux or is interested in a really nice operating system, runs clean, really fast, and very efficient and secure to a certain extent on it. A lot more than most of the other operating systems that are out there. For this particular one, the prerequisite would be to know how to load an operating system and how to using Linux is a good help, but you don't really need to know it to get going and using it, because it has its own version of Office, its own version of Draw, everything that you would need. In fact, this is the only Linux platform I've actually loaded on my own personal laptops and use it as the primary operating system on it. So that tells you something about it. I've used Backbox, and I've used Kali Linux, and I use Red Hat and all the other ones, but this is the first one I've loaded myself and used personally. So to get going, on a previous video I showed you how to actually load the application or the appliance of it, and we would have got that from the website right here. But the reason why I said that it is very helpful is because it has actually different download versions of it. So if you notice here, it has a security version, which I use, but then if you just want it for a home, a really fast laptop, if you have an older system, you can use the home or the workstation edition of it. And then, of course, they have other builds over here, which you would use for Docker, and for those of you that are really into Raspberry Pis, Orange Pis, Pine 64 machines. So in our case, though, we'll be using the Home Edition and also the Security Edition. These are ones that are free to download and use at any time you want. So like I mentioned before, we covered this earlier, how to download it. So what I do is I have here's my VirtualBox running, but you can actually put this on as your primary operating system. Like I mentioned, I did that. But here is a VirtualBox of it. And this is what it looks like. It's got your regular desktop. Over here is your time, date, weather. But the one unique thing about the Parrot operating system is it's got two menuing systems. One on top here, and then it's got one here on the bottom, which let me see if I can move it down. It's got one here on the bottom that you can also use too as well. So I'll be moving this window a little bit around. Okay. So just remember, you're going to have 2 windows on this particular build. And like I mentioned before, it's your typical Linux. It's got your command line, which you would type in for super user SU, and then of course your password that you give it, and it takes you in there. Now the one thing I highly recommend is after you create the machine, you want to run an upgrade. The reason for that is because when you run the upgrade, it can take up to an hour plus to upgrade to the current system. So just be aware of that before you run the upgrade. Make sure you have time to do that. Also, the actual size of this comes out to about 30 to 40 gigs once it's all uncompressed and spanned out. So just be aware of that as well. So as we go through this, here we have your system, your preferences, hardware, software, your administrative purposes, all your places you've been to, and here's your applications that you'd be using. And you have Anon, here's your accessories, you have different calculators, font managers. But the reason why I say that you could use this for your primary operating system is because it also has Office. It's got what's called LibreOffice. LibreOffice is a very nice version, free version of Office that you can run, and it will take Microsoft Office files. And as you can tell, it looks really clean, very nice to use, very clean fonts. I'm sorry, icons, not fonts, and it's very simple to use and powerful. You also have you've also got Excel, PowerPoint, you have graphics programs, so you can come in here and draw. It also has other things like programming languages in here, so if you're taking programming, you can download it. And here's your system tools. But if you really wanted to get into it, here are your tools for your Parrot. And here's your vulnerability analyzers, your exploitation tests, password attacks. Now, just to be aware, if you're a newcomer to this, Parrot is a great program to use. Just be very careful when you're using these applications because they can go both directions. So just be careful when you do it. I would highly recommend you research on them before you do it. But like I said, they are free to use, and I use them in things I do sometimes. But you can also get very in trouble for doing that. So just be careful. And like I said, you also have internet tools. So you also have like the Tor browser, which you know about, the Onion routers. So this is a very nice little program, and as you can tell, it is quite quick. Even though it is, I'm running it on a virtual machine right now, and as you can tell, it's actually quite quick. So on an actual machine, it is very fast. So let me get out of here. So I just wanted to let you know that's what it is, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. And please stay tuned for more videos, and I will have more assessments and more items to go with it, and some labs to go with this as well as we go deeper into the Parrot operating system or into the tools in general that you can use pretty much anywhere. Thank you.